Alright, so how y'all doing, boys? Hope you're doing well. Now in today's video, going to be using a unit that, although they are super good, I just don't get around to using that often, and that is Chandler. I mean, ever since release, this guy has been an absolute beast, especially on the Demon team, which is pretty much the only team you really see him on. You do also see him on the Full Stance team, which is another unit, or another team should I say, that I just don't use that often. With the release of Sariel, hopefully next week, I'm going to be using that team a whole bunch. And fun fact, actually when this Chandler came out on the Zeldris banner, I think I got my Zeldris like 4-6 in the first rotation. I ended up going a whole nother rotation and a little bit more just to get a single copy of this guy. Unfortunately, you couldn't get him from the selector, so it was actual just struggle street trying to obtain him, but here he is. If you guys don't know what the Chandler does, his first card here, we can click on it, inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack on one enemy and blocks all skill effects, including those of ultimates, for 2 turns. The counter here assumes a stance for 2 turns, which taunts enemies and inflicts damage equal to 450% of attack when taking attacks, increased damage dealt by 100% of damage taken. The ultimate here, which we do have 6/6, inflicts charge damage equal to 680% of attack on all enemies, and the passive applies an effect which decreases all stats by 7% on enemies who use a skill in PvP for 1 turn. So honestly, not like the hugest affecting passive in the game. It is what it is. So the ultimate, however, is a fairly good one. It's not super strong, definitely not in like the top 5 or 10 strongest PvP ultimates, but the ignored defense definitely helps out. It's a lot better than something like Hijack Gotha's ultimate. If we jump over to the equipment here, are running the HP defense, it's up to you whether you want to go like HP defense or attack and defense. I just prefer to have him like this. I prefer more to have him as like a stance character than a character that does big counter damage. I know it doesn't really sound like me, but looking at the rolls here, they're okay. I actually went ahead and put a whole bunch of hammers into these right beforehand because they were absolutely atrocious before. And jumping over to the closet, once again, not too invested in. Still can't believe we haven't got a 5th weapon or headpiece for Chandler. I feel like he's been out for ages now, along with Cusack as well, is also missing one of his cosmetics, I believe. But this is the team we're using today. Using him alongside Sigurd, I just feel like he'd have the best synergy along with the Meliodas and Chandler. And let's jump right into it. Here we go, first opponent, and coming up against a Ludo Meliodas team. Also decided to dress all the boys up in black. There was, I think it was yesterday's video or the day before, we ended up versing a team, and it was, what do we want to go for here, actually? Block skill effects. I think I might go 1 and 2, getting the block off skill effects. Just a little bit more important, so we use that second. I don't know why, I always try and drill into my head using the more important cards second, just in case they use dodge. I mean, there's pretty much no chance the Ludo team uses it, but why not? Good, nice something to remember. But it was, I believe it was a Christmas Awakened Lilia, Excalibur Arthur, and who was the other unit? I think it was Kyo. Yeah, because it was the biker Kyo costume, and they had them all dressed up in black, and I just thought it honestly looked sick. I never actually, like, you never really see many people use like a full team and they like match the costumes, so why not? This is actually a team where we can have a fairly good looking loadout, but with the extra attack buffs we get, I forget how good Sigurd is, just tied with Meliodas. Let's see, we can pretty much one-tap you, and with the 2 AoEs there as well, I actually didn't see the second one. That pretty much wins us the match. Don't even actually get to do the AoE to Meliodas. Surely we can kill these 2 with just the AoEs. If we could get some crits, that'd be nice. Extort as well, like Sigurd is one of those units that pairs so goddamn well with Meliodas. And if you guys have actually seen one of my previous videos where I use them alongside the Holy Relic Arthur, honestly such a broken combo. But yeah, if you have the Holy Relic materials to use and you haven't, you know, thought of what character you want to go for and Arthur is on your list, I would highly recommend it. Using this team here but replacing the Chandler with Arthur, being able to get just the sheer amount of buffs that man gives you with that team, it is crazy. It's honestly one of my like favorite teams I've run in a hot minute. It was actually suggested by one of you guys, so I really wish there were a couple more teams I could use with the Arthur. I might actually, after this video, try and see if there's anything else I can run, but I don't know, it just blew me away how, like, I would say how, like, fun the team was. The team was insanely fun, and it doesn't feel, like, super broken. Also, single attacking into Chandler there, not your greatest choice. Is he gonna keep... Ooh, yeah, will that kill Escanor? Surely he does one more. God damn. I mean, sometimes I really do wish, like, if we had, like, an attack defense Chandler there, he would have easily survived all the attacks as well, but I don't know, just, like, building gear for characters, if you're, like, deciding on which one you want to build, whether it's attack and defense or HP defense, it's just so much more of a safe bet to go with the HP defense, because, like, even if it does end up being worse in the long run, you still get so much more CC from the HP defense set that it's really not that big a loss in general. Like, I was struggling on who I wanted to do for Sigurd, and I ended up making the wrong choice. And I actually did the same thing for Keo. Upon both of their releases, they were the big new hot thing, the big flashy DPS characters, and I wanted to use them as my kind of main source of damage. Let's see, I might... why not? We'll go 2 and 3. I wanted to use them as my DPS and kind of like show them off doing the most damage as possible in videos. And yeah, look, this far down the line, and like Keo especially is a unit that, like, if someone's using the one Escanor and he gets off like a flood single target off on your Keo and it crits, man just gets one tapped. Like, there is nothing he can do. Same situation with Sigurd, like, I don't know. And then you just end up spending your materials. If you guys are wondering, you know, what kind of gear you should build, definitely ask someone with a little bit more knowledge on the game. Or just, like I said, if you just want to, you know, you don't want to ask anyone, just go ahead and make a HP set. It's up to you with like the defense and crit. Obviously, honestly, the whole gear making process is up to you, but you can't go wrong with HP gear. It's just so good. One thing about Chandler's counter as well is he only counters the damage done to himself, which makes it basically just stops him from just absolutely one-tapping teams when people do AoEs into him. Let's go one. I might actually attack into you first. Although we do have the attack and crit damage set on Sigurd here, you will actually see if he gets a crit off, it'll be some nice damage. Yeah, even without it, he does really good damage, as you saw. I honestly didn't expect him to do as much as he did, but can we please get just all crits for MELI? 400,000 is not bad. And sometimes it can be a little hard to know what gear you want to build or should build for a character, because like when the Zeldris came out, the first Zeldris we're using in the back of this team here, I would honestly say go ahead and, I'm gonna do the same starting edge, go ahead and build him like an attack crit damage set or like an attack and defense. But with the release of like, well, yeah, just with how like the meta's changed and whatnot, and you never know what's gonna happen and what new units are gonna release, how that unit's gonna be affected. Sometimes, yeah, it might be the best set of its time, and then later on a unit comes out and that changes. Let's see here though, I feel like we've been versing a lot of this Gothar, Meliodas, Escanor team, which is honestly fine. This team does an amazing job of countering it. Really wish we had that attack and defense set for Chandler. Obviously, I'd rather have the HP defense set one, but just for showing them off in videos. Damn, Meliodas almost dead in one turn. And then yeah, once the turn changes back and you get those 3 attack buffs, it's just over at that point. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing again. I think actually this match and last match, we literally just did the exact same thing both times. Throwing that one out and go through there, no crit, unfortunate. Escanor just getting absolutely demolished and then finishing him off with the AoE. It's a good team in all honesty. I didn't expect it to synergize as well as it has been. I feel like using this team, and we almost had it once again. Just, yeah, I never really see people use any of like the black costumes. This team here with the Kewin, like the bike one, I feel like it fits super, super well. I might actually go for you turn 1. I know that sounds like a dumb decision. Christmas Awakened Lily is just so absurd. The amount of damage she can get right off the bat, that's just something I don't want to have to deal with. So we'll get rid of her. Keo and Meliodas is fine. It is what it is, but goddamn, that Christmas Awakened Lily, easily one of my top 5 favorite units. Zeldris in the back. It's such a strong team as well. Look at all the counters we got. If we could actually, I don't know whether or not I want to hold on to those, or, I mean, the chance of us getting another counter are pretty unlikely, but Chandler, once he gets that level 3 counter out, I'm sure you guys have seen, they actually had to nerf his card like a couple days into him being released. They buffed the 1 and 2 star to do a little bit more damage, but that 3-star one they nerfed so heavily. It was just insurmountable, the amount of just the damage difference between those cards. Let's see, we'll go 1. I'll do the 2-star counter and block skill effects of you. The amplify can be a little bit annoying. I know he doesn't have many buffs at the moment, but that can very quickly change. The one thing as well about Chandler's counter and about the Cyril actually that's about to come out is pretty much all of the characters that have counters in the game. I believe all of their 2-star cards are only 1 turn, but with the Cyril, maybe just due to the fact that power creep is a constant thing and, you know, the card's going to get stronger over time. It is actually 2 turns. I haven't checked the percentages and whether or not they're actually weaker. Even if they are, I feel like having the 2-turn trade-off is definitely a lot better. Having a 2-star card, especially a counter like a Taunt Last only 1 turn, a little bit annoying, but let's go 1, 2, and I feel like we can pretty much clean everyone up with the AoE and we can get onto our final opponent. God damn, look at that. The crit is so nice. And Melee will instantly show him up anyways, but double crit. Meliodas survives it. I don't think he can bring back the match, so let's get on to the final opponent. Super long loading time on this one, and Hijack Girth, the True Seeker. Honestly, this team right here is so goddamn strong with just the amount of utility you get out of True Seeker Melon. I mean, True Seeker Melon alone is definitely one of the better units in the game, especially for PvP, but between her and Hijack Girth, you can pretty much disable anything in the game, and then with just the sheer amount of damage Meliodas gets off by himself, it is a powerful, powerful team. Oh yeah, that's not looking too good. Block skill effects. Don't have to worry about hers because hers is all through her passive. I think I might go... We'll go for this here, getting the Extorter first. Obviously don't have to worry about evasion food or anything, but I think with just how much health we've lost, even with the fact that he has like 2 AoE cards from Meliodas and the True Seeker Melon, I just don't think our Meliodas can tank any of them. I mean, it is unfortunate, we're probably going to end this one off on a loss. This team we're using here, the one we're versing, and something like a Ludo Halloween Gotha Meliodas team, are probably more of my favorite teams for Meliodas. Attacking straight into the Chandler though, that's a ballsy play. If I had... Ooh, that hurt. That even hurt Chandler and it's an AoE card, god damn. Getting Chandler real low, surely you can... I mean, he just lifesteals back to full. It's... Yeah, look. The difference between our team and his team is way too big. There's no way we're bringing this one back. There we go, and that just about does it for today's showcase. Honestly, had way more fun with this team than I expected. Chandler usually not a character I like to use a whole bunch. He is super, super fun, and if you have him, I'd highly recommend building him out. But I mean, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.